Today, we're going to be discussing something that will always be on my mind as long as I suck air, and that is black representation in anime, gaming, and the like. An issue that has admittedly improved as time has gone on, but still warrants a discussion every now and then, just in case it ever tries to rear its ugly head again in mass. Now, if I can direct you to an article written by Animation Martin, which I'm sure probably isn't his name, but a very cool handle nonetheless. The article is found on medium.com website. There, the wise scholar discusses black representation and the negative stereotypes that can often crop up as a result. He mentions the utter tragedy of a genre so beloved and relatable to the black community as anime in the large part usually involves some kind of triumph over some overwhelming adversity, whether it be a tyrannical power structure, corrupt enforcement body, or some other type of adversarial overwhelming force or the like, which whether consciously or unconsciously black people can find relatable and resonate with due to historical oppressions taken against them in some shape or form. He also goes on to discuss how such depictions could be accredited to the early representation of black characters that some Asian animators may have piggybacked upon simply out of sheer ignorance. This article is about 4 years old and attests to the rate of foreigners in Japan at the time floating around the 2% mark, which, if we compare today, is only marginally higher than what it was back then. Mind you, this number does not attest for black people exclusively, so the actual number of black posts a Japanese writer or artist will be exposed to will be considerably lower than this figure. As an aside, the author of the Medium article does not place ignorance as an acceptable excuse for such depictions, but rather as a means to understand it a little bit better. However, this is the 21st century and the internet is there for these animators to do their due diligence and research on black people and what it means to be black. Though it can be argued that a Japanese anime may avoid including black characters, entirely not warranting the risk of offending a whole demographic, which doesn't aid the situation, as we still want to be included in these stories, albeit included properly and positively. Omission will always be an option for these creators. However, I, for one, am probably not going to buy into a story like that. Not because I'm racist or anything like that. Some of my best friends are not black, but because it's too samey for my liking. And I can go on Crunchyroll right now and quite honestly, little stands out to me, which is a shame, as I'm not so ignorant to say these stories aren't good. But what can I say? What's not attractive is not attractive to me. Just to be clear, I'm not exactly advocating for an Asian or any other animator or any other background to do better. I don't think it's necessarily their obligation or natural inkling to even want to write a black character. However, when it does happen, my hat's off to you. I would rather be more comfortable giving such an assignment to a black creator. I just think it would minimize the instances of such negative depictions occurring. And I'm not saying that they don't do this, but rather it's for black creators to do this, which in turn I believe will minimize the instances of such negative depictions occurring in the first place. I'm not saying that they don't do this. Exposure to these works are hard to come by due to an array of issues that can range from low general support for these creators, good representation but subpar storytelling, because at the end of the day, you can have as black a story as you want. If the story isn't there, I can't buy into it either. Marketing strategies, low opportunities to break into the industry in the first place, even straight up discrimination towards these works the list goes on. It's an utter upward battle with black positive representation, and if you claim to care about this matter, or if you're of another race and can sympathize with anything I'm saying, support these black creators. As one myself, I can tell you firsthand it's a harsh and arduous battle, but one we've gladly partaken despite the difficulties, all for the sake of more positive black representation in stories, for the sake of all yous and the anime fans out there who also deem the matter of positive inclusion important. Thanks for listening. See you later.